So many coaches think the reason that their sales feel inconsistent is because they haven't found the right offer yet. But the truth is a lot simpler than this and harder to admit for a lot of people. You are comfortable thinking about your offers, tweaking your offers, refining your offers, but the moment that you are required to commit and stand behind the offer and sell it even when things are quiet, doubt begins to creep in. Hey there, and welcome to the Life and Business on Purpose podcast, where purpose meets profit and mindset meets strategy. I'm your host, Sandy Patterson, former kindergarten teacher turned online business coach, mom of two really cool boys, and the creator of the Momentum Method. Through this 3-phase method over the past 2.5 years, I have helped dozens of women build values-aligned, profitable businesses without working 40+ hours a week so they get to enjoy their business and live their lives on purpose. Around here, we do business differently because we believe success isn't about hustling to prove ourselves. We don't believe in rigid formulas or chasing someone else's version of success. It's about channeling perfection into power, moving with unstoppable trust in life and business, and leading with strategy that actually fits your life. Let's build your life and business on purpose together, one episode at a time. Here we go. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the podcast. Like always, I am so happy that you are here. Now, today we're talking all about your offers, and simply put, you want to know if your current offer makes sense and if it will sell for the season you're in inside of your business and your life. The problem here is every time you launch an offer and it doesn't immediately sell, you jump ship and move to something else, you start talking about something else, or you launch a brand new offer. And this is a problem because things don't have time to compound and actually work. So today I'm going to talk to you about how to know for certain that your current offer makes sense and will sell, so you can avoid the offer hopping and stick with the offer that's going to work with you, your life, and create revenue inside your business. Because so many coaches think the reason that their sales feel inconsistent is because they haven't found the right offer yet. But the truth is a lot simpler than this and harder to admit for a lot of people. You are comfortable thinking about your offers, tweaking your offers, refining your offers, planning for your offers. But the moment that you are required to commit and stand behind the offer and sell it, even when things are quiet, doubt begins to creep in. So when you're selling an offer, it requires belief that it's going to work before there is any proof. So in this episode, I'm going to walk you through the offer audit that has helped me and my clients choose what offer to sell and focus on, simplify and show up with the kind of confidence that actually converts and creates sales and impact. Now, for those of you that are new here, welcome. I am Sandy Patterson, and I help women build online businesses that allow them to live their lives on purpose without living in constant overdrive. This work is for recovering perfectionists who are done spinning, done redeciding, and ready to grow with strategy that actually fits them, self-trust that replaces second guessing and self-doubt, and leadership that feels really grounded instead of forced. So we are building a business here that supports your real life, not something that you need to recover from. In the last episode, we talked about why so many capable, driven coaches feel busy but stuck at the same time, and why you can be doing all the things and still not see momentum or consistent clients in your business. The last episode lays the foundation for today's conversation because once you understand what actually deserves your focus in your business and what is going to create revenue, the next question becomes, what am I actually selling right now? So if you haven't listened to that, I recommend going back and starting there because today's episode builds directly on the clarity from that episode last week. Now, before we dive in, if you are unsure whether your current offers make sense for this season of your business, or you find yourself just doing things because that's what everybody else is doing, or that's what you saw on Instagram, or that's what worked for her, so why isn't this working for me? You have two options. You can book an absolutely free, no pressure growth gap audit call where we will sit down and look at your current life and business structure, look at your offers, see what you have going on and how you're spending your time and how those offers are working into your actual life. And I'll show you how to close any gaps. The link for that is in the show notes. And if you're ready to go all in on your business this year to create a life where you can take your kids to school, go to the gym in the middle of the day, you can also apply for my mastermind or private coaching. The links for those are in the show notes as well. Now, I see you, and it's not that you want to create and launch another offer, okay? What you want is clarity and confidence around the offer or offers that you already have going. You want to know that the offer you're selling makes sense for where you are right now, and that it is worth your time, your energy, and your focus because you know it's going to sell and you know your people need and want it. So you wake up every day, starting your workday, knowing exactly what you're selling and why you're selling it, and also with the conviction and certainty that it's going to work. So you're not spending the day mentally negotiating with yourself about, is this the right direction or not? And when you go to sell it and talk about your offer, you want to be able to do that without that quiet hesitation playing in the background that says, I might change this anyway soon. Is anybody even going to jump in on this? You want to commit to something long enough to actually see what it is capable of without constantly questioning your decisions. Now, the problem here is that every time you launch an offer and it doesn't immediately sell, you jump ship and come up with a new offer or divert your focus. And this is exactly where the problem shows up. The clarity and the confidence you want cannot come from constantly changing what you were building. When you move on from an offer, the moment it doesn't sell right away or when it's quiet, you never really give yourself the chance to know whether it's going to work or not. And you're always in decision mode, never really in leadership mode. So instead of waking up clear on what you're selling, you wake up reevaluating, asking, oh my gosh, what should I be selling today? Do I need to create a new offer? And you're scrambling to figure out what to say and how to say it. So instead of talking about your offer with confidence, you are half committed because part of you is already preparing for that next pivot. And that constant redeciding is keeping you stuck and it's blocking the very thing that you want most. That trust in yourself and the trust in your business and trust in the offer that you are selling. Because confidence and growth does not come from having a perfect offer. It comes from staying with the offer long enough, standing in it, standing with it, even when things feel slow, to see it all the way through. And that's also what's going to give you data. And when every offer you have is treated as temporary, nothing feels super solid. And that's why this pattern is so exhausting. And it's why clarity always feels just out of reach. Every time you launch an offer and it doesn't sell right away, you assume the offer is the problem. So you pivot or you tweak the name or you adjust the price or you change the format of it or you just come up with a whole new offer altogether. You start something new just in case this isn't the thing. What started off as a one clear offer turns into multiple half-built ideas and things that are kind of half being talked about, half not. You're selling one thing this month, hinting at something else the next, jumping back and forth, and all the while quietly losing confidence in everything that you've already created. From the outside, it looks like you're evolving, but internally, it feels like this constant redecision again and again and again. So you keep asking yourself, is this the right offer? Should I be doing something else instead? What if this isn't aligned anymore? And what if my audience doesn't want this? What if nobody's going to pay me for this? And here's the part that nobody wants to talk about, but I'm going to say it. Each time you pivot, it is chipping away at your self-trust so that you start hesitating before you post, you're questioning, you hold back a bit when you sell, you're softening the message because you're not fully sure about the offer or even if you're going to stand behind it the next week. So you feel busy, but you feel really unsettled and you know that you are absolutely capable, but you're still unsure about the offer and if you can deliver it. And when you have moments of excitement, they do not last because you're already bracing for the doubt that comes if the results are not immediate. So nothing feels stable and nothing feels anchored. And over time, that uncertainty starts to feel heavier than the actual work itself. This is a problem because when you change directions every time an offer doesn't sell right away, you're never actually leading an offer long enough for it to work. You're asking brand new things to produce results without the time, repetition, and belief required for these things to gain traction. And like I said, to actually gather data from that offer. Nothing compounds because nothing stays for very long. And the missing piece is not more strategy. It is commitment long enough to let the strategy do its job. And what's missing is a clear decision about what you are selling in this season, not forever, just in this season. And the willingness to stand behind it even when you are not seeing results right away. Because offers do not fail in isolation. They need repetition, they need consistency, they need message clarity, and leadership that holds steady when uncertainty shows up. So without that, every offer is going to feel really fragile. Every single launch feels like a test of your worth, and every slow moment has you questioning all of your life choices, right? So what's missing here is a filter that helps you decide a few things. Is this offer wrong, or is it just not the right time? Does this offer need refinement, or does it just need better leadership? Is this offer something that I should scrap, or is it something that I'm just uncomfortable in right now because I'm not seeing immediate results? Without this filter, everything around your offer feels really urgent and feels really scattered, and the results from the offer feel very personal, and every decision feels really high stakes when actually it's not. So what you should be doing instead is not creating something new. It is deciding what offer you are leading with right now. So instead of asking yourself, is this the right offer every time the results are not instant, you decide what offer you are committing to for this season of your business and you lead it fully for an extended period of time. That means you choose one primary offer to focus on. You decide that this is the thing that you are selling, talking about, refining, and standing behind for an extended period of time. You decide that extended period of time, whether it's a month, the quarter, 6 months, or even the year. And you stop treating your offers like temporary experiments and you start treating them as assets that need your leadership and your consistency and your time. And offer is absolutely going to change lives, hands down. So ideally, you are selling this same offer long enough to get clean feedback, to build the messaging clarity that you and your audience need, and you let trust build with your audience and actually see what's working and what isn't, and make tweaks from data, not just emotions. So instead of reacting emotionally to every slow week, you zoom out and look at the bigger picture of the season that you're in. So this is the shift. You go from what should I build next to what deserves my energy right now? Because you know momentum does not come from constant creation and being on that hamster wheel. It comes from sustained focus even when things feel quiet. And when you lead one offer well without redeciding every few weeks, confidence starts to build naturally. Not because sales are perfect, but because you're no longer abandoning yourself or the offer at the first sign of discomfort. So let me walk you through the offer audit. This has 3 steps to it, and it's not about locking yourself into one offer forever. It is about choosing what you're selling and leading with right now on purpose and intentionally. This offer audit has been really transformative for me and for my clients because it allows them to use a filter to understand what the best offer for their business model and their season of life and what's truly going to bring in revenue. So this offer audit framework is going to allow you to evaluate and know for certain that your current offer makes sense, that it will sell, so you can avoid the offer hopping and stick with the offer that's going to work with you, your life, your capacity, and that's going to create revenue in your business. So step one is to clarify the season that you are in. Many people miss this and they'll just jump right in and do whatever either their coach told them, or they'll do whatever they see other people doing on Instagram, or whatever is trending right now, essentially. So before you evaluate any offer, you have to evaluate your life and your capacity. So you're going to ask questions like, what does my time and energy realistically look like right now? Am I in a season where I need stability or simplicity, or am I in an expansion season right now? What kind of offer would actually support my life right now if I wasn't worried about if it would sell or who needs what? Okay, this step prevents you from choosing an offer that fights your reality instead of supporting it. And again, this is what most people miss. And full transparency here, I have had seasons in my business where I dove headfirst into an offer, not evaluating my capacity or the season that I was in. And it didn't work out so well because my time and my energy was going elsewhere, because the time and energy that offer needed, I actually didn't have it during those periods of time. Had I opened up my calendar and said, hey, what is doable for you right now? Looking at your family schedule, looking at your travel schedule, looking at what's going on right now, I would have known this isn't the best time to launch this offer. And what ended up happening? The offer lost my attention, lost momentum, and then I lost trust in myself and in the offer because I wasn't showing up for the offer to sell it like I wanted to. So lesson learned, and this offer audit was born, okay? Now, step number 2 is choose one offer to lead this season, and also ask, does this excite me? So look at the offers that you have and you select one primary offer, one offer. Ideally, this is an offer that you're going to build out that's going to create recurring revenue in your business. And possibly it's an offer that is scalable, so you're not trading time for money. So you're not looking at your offers and you're not looking for the one that feels the safest, or even for the one that feels like, ooh, new and shiny. You're looking for the one that makes the most sense given what your current capacity is, what your revenue goals are, and where your audience already has trust. So this is going to become the offer you talk about, you sell, and you stand behind consistently for an extended period of time. You again decide what that extended period of time looks like without redeciding every time the results are not instant. You stay in it, you commit to it, and you talk about it as if it's already working out. And it's so important, you guys, that the offer you choose is one that you are absolutely obsessed with, one that you're really pumped up and excited about. Because so often I see this happen where coaches will choose an offer to talk about or to sell, but they're not super excited about it. And they've chosen it because either it works for their schedule, or they think it's what other people want, or it's just what they've always done. So let's, just stick with that. Instead, you really want to gut check yourself and be like, how do I feel about this offer? Am I so freaking stoked to show up, to sell this? Can I back this? Is all of my energy behind this offer so that when I show up, it's going to be obvious how excited I am about this? If you guys have ever tried to talk about something that doesn't interest you or doesn't excite you, the person on the other side can feel that for sure. And vice versa. When you are so excited to talk about something, the person on the other side can feel that excitement, and it's magnetizing, right? Now, step 3, you are committing for a defined window of time and leading it fully. This is the self-leadership piece. So you're going to decide upfront how long you're committing to this offer. Again, it can be a month, it can be a quarter, it can be 6 months, it could even be a year. You are deciding ahead of time what the length of time is that you are committing to that offer. And you are asking yourself what feedback actually matters beforehand. So some examples of feedback that does matter are people booking calls but not converting. That's something that I need to know because it tells me it's something about messaging or the fit. Another example of feedback that does matter are questions that I'm getting constantly from my audience. So this shows that there's confusion somewhere that I can go ahead and clarify. Clients inside the offer getting results. This is something that I want to be aware of because that is confirming the value of the offer. These are all examples of feedback that do matter. Now, examples of feedback that don't matter, that we're going to not pay attention to: a slow week on Instagram where I'm not getting any engagement. One person saying, "Oh, I don't think this is for me." Comparing your launch to somebody else's, Instagram highlight reel. That feedback does not matter and is not going to shift me or help me in any way. It's not going to help me show up powerfully. So pay attention to the feedback that does matter and stick with that. Write it down. And the third thing is what will not trigger a pivot. So what will not have me going, "Oh, I'm going to go do something else," or "Oh, something shiny over here." This might include a slow week of sales. This might include a launch that does not meet your expectations. This might include a launch happening and not getting the amount of people you had anticipated in, and you just scrapping the whole offer altogether, even though there's only one person in or there's two people in, and you thinking, well, that's not enough. Somebody else launching something else that, they're doing does not mean that you need to pivot. Or the feelings of being bored or discouraged or uncertain, those are not things that require you to pivot your offer. This is a chance for you to stand again in your self-leadership and say, I'm staying in this. I've already committed to this extended period of time. So I'm showing up, and ideally you're excited to talk about it. So it's not that hard anyways. Okay. Then for that window of time, your only job is to sell it consistently, talk about it, invite people into it. Then refine it based on the real data, the data triggers that you've already decided are important and that you're already gathering. You refine based on those things, not a whole new offer. And you stay with it through very normal discomfort. I know that it's easy to pull up Instagram and look at these, coaches that have these incredible 6-figure launches and whatnot, and to think, gosh, if my launch isn't meeting that standard, then what am I even doing? Or is this even working? You start somewhere and you continue to build, but you cannot build if you don't stay in it and start somewhere, right? So at the end of that time frame, you're going to reassess from clarity, not from panic. Okay, there's a very, very big difference. Now, this audit removes emotional decision-making and replaces it with self-trust. So you stop reacting to every little thing and you actually start leading. And that's what turns offers into assets and allows you to begin building impact. You guys, my very first group program, it had 2 women in it and they were incredible. And I just look back and I think, what if I had have jumped ship, and what if I had have not seen that program through at the time because there were only, quote unquote, 2 people in it? It wouldn't have had the chance to grow and evolve into what it is today, which is my incredible mastermind space with the most incredible women inside of it. I decided to stay in it even when it felt uncomfortable. I decided to use that data and refine as I went. And I'm really proud that I did that. And that's what this offer audit is going to do for you as well. Now, let me give you a real life example of what this audit can look like. So let's say you're a coach who has 3 offers. You have one-to-one coaching, which is very common, maybe a lower ticket offer, a shorter term offer, or a membership or something low ticket. And maybe an idea you have, we all have lots of ideas, right? An idea you have for a new program that you keep thinking about launching and you're excited to get up and running. So the first step is to clarify the season that you are in right now. And let's just say right now your life is really full, okay? You don't have the bandwidth to be marketing 3 different things or building something new from scratch. So you want consistency and you want predictable income and you want to stop feeling like you're juggling all the things. Okay, great, perfect. So you're being honest with yourself that this would be considered a stability season, not an expansion season. So we've got clarity around that. Now, step 2 is to choose one offer to begin to sell and lead with. So instead of trying to sell all 3, you're just going to choose one primary offer. So maybe you decide that it's your one-to-one coaching because you are getting good results for your clients. Your audience already actually understands it because you've talked about it before, and it's going to bring in that revenue that you need right now. So the membership or the low ticket offer doesn't disappear here. It's just not the focus right now. And the new program idea gets parked in the parking lot. Okay. So for this season, 1-to-1 is your offer. You're selling, you're talking about it, you're standing behind it. And again, gut check. Are you excited to sell that 1-to-1 offer? Is it, when you think about new people coming in, when you think about aligned people coming in and serving people in this way, does that excite you? The answer should be yes, absolutely. Or we go back and we start again. Okay. Step 3 is to commit for a defined window and lead it. Be in it. Okay. So you decide for the next 90 days, I am selling the shit out of this 1-to-1 offer. So that means you are talking about it consistently, whatever that looks like for you. That doesn't mean you have to post twice a day, all day, every day, but you're talking about it consistently. You refine the messaging as you talk about it instead of just reinventing the offer over and over again. And you don't pivot the first time things feel quiet. So you don't go post about it on day 1, get no response, and then say, this isn't working, I'm jumping ship. Okay. You wait it out that 90 days and you keep the consistency going through that 90 days. At the end of the 90 days, you evaluate what worked, what didn't, what would I need to adjust moving forward. And now here's the important part, you guys. You are making decisions from clarity, not from a place of exhaustion. And when you do this, I promise, if you do this and you follow this offer audit and you stick with it for at least 90 days, you will stop feeling so scattered and your audience will begin to understand so much better what it is that you do and why you do it and who it's for. Selling it will feel a lot cleaner because you're no longer half in, half out. And even if everything doesn't work out how you planned, you're gonna walk away with data, with confidence, and with self-trust instead of another pile of half-finished ideas and open loops. So think about your business like a house you're renovating. Every time something feels off, you don't tear the entire house down and start over, right? You decide which room needs your attention right now. It's like my house right now. My house is old. It was built in the 1950s. It's ready for a little bit of love. We're not going to just tear the whole house down. We're going to start and work room by room. So if I try to renovate the kitchen and the bathroom and the bedroom all at once, I'm going to have nowhere to go to the bathroom. I'm going to have nowhere to sleep and I'm going to have nothing to eat. So nothing's going to feel finished. Everything's going to feel really chaotic and I'm going to end up living in this constant disruption. This is exactly what happens when you keep creating new offers or offer hopping every time one does not work immediately. So this offer audit is truly deciding for this season, this is what I am selling and working on right now. You put your time and your energy into that one offer, you see it through, and then from there you move on with, again, data. That's how businesses really become stable and how and why confidence in your offers and your value actually starts to grow. This is also exactly why this type of work lives inside my 3-phase signature momentum method. The offer audit is a phase 1 move because before anything else can work, you have to stop spiraling and you have to start trusting yourself enough to commit to one thing, sometimes before we see proof. And this is the shift from perfection to power, where you stop chasing the right answer or the right offer, and you start leading the decision that you've already made and you stay in it. From there, phase 2 becomes possible because once you're no longer redeciding your offers every few weeks, you can actually build that self-trust both within yourself and with your audience and your business. Your messaging gets clearer, your selling feels cleaner, and people start to understand what you do because you understand what you're doing and what you're leading. And then phase 3 works the way it's meant to. Strategy finally compounds. Your content, your conversations, your systems start supporting you instead of constantly needing to be rebuilt. Not because you added more, but because you stayed long enough for that momentum to form and you really are understanding values aligned business and strategy. Does this work for me? Does this work for who I am and how I work? And does it work for the season of life that I'm in? So this isn't just an offer exercise. It's really a self-leadership skill. And when you learn how to make grounded decisions about what you're leading in this particular season of your life and your business, everything else in your business starts to move forward with you instead of against you. Now, there are 3 key pieces to my signature momentum method, and the first one is turning your perfectionism into power. Because feeling confident inside your business as a business owner is not about silencing or fixing your inner perfectionist or pretending you don't care about doing things well. It is really about taking those high standards and diverting them from things that don't actually matter, things like the pressure to perform or prove yourself or over-deliver, and we divert those into other areas of your business that actually matter. Client experience, your revenue-generating activities, clean decisions, and a business that really supports your life. Now, this step alone has allowed my clients to have their highest revenue months ever, not by working more hours, but by simplifying their sales and diverting their focus into things that matter, like their processes and trusting their strategy. And they've also created genuine momentum in their business, leads coming in, sales conversations happening, and clients converting without feeling like they're constantly chasing because they are no longer people pleasing and no longer proving anything to anyone. Now, the next step in the momentum method is creating unstoppable self-trust. But it's not just any type of trust. The key to having a booked out business isn't actually about the number of clients you have. It's about how you're leading yourself and how you're trusting yourself through the process. So we identify the gap between where you are now and where you want to be. And then we incrementally align your habits and your focus and your strategy with the version of you who's already booked out. And this isn't about just be her now. Instead, we pinpoint the misalignment between what you're doing and the mindset, behaviors, and strategy of a fully booked out coach. And then we upgrade how you show up, how you move, so your business can catch up to the identity and income that you're ready for. And from there, the third and final piece to building a sustainable long-term business is not about hitting one high cash month or making money one time. It is about having strategy that aligns with you, your values, fits your life, and supports the people and priorities that matter most to you. Because true sustainability comes from building a system that is fully aligned with your values and your voice and your vision. So you're not just running a successful business, but you're running one that feels like you, that creates meaningful impact and gives you both financial and time freedom. The momentum method has been transformative and the key to unlocking my clients' businesses and lives, and has them going from saying, Sandy, I am doing so much work and nothing seems to be working, to sending me screenshot after screenshot of wins. Now, if you're listening to this and you're realizing, oh my gosh, I have been confusing discomfort with a sign that something is wrong, you have 2 options. You can book that absolutely free, no pressure growth gap audit call where we will take a look at your current life and business structure, take a look at where those gaps are, and I'll show you how to close those gaps with an offer that works for you and the season of life that you're in, so you can get better results with less effort. The link for that growth gap audit call is in the show notes. Or if you are ready to dive in and you know what I'm all about and you're ready to go, you can apply for my mastermind or for private coaching. The link for those is in the show notes. So make sure you hit that follow button so you don't miss any new episodes. And if this episode hit home, please consider leaving a review. It takes just a few seconds to hit those stars. I will see you guys next time. Mwah. If you are sitting here thinking, oh my gosh, this episode was made for me, you have 2 options. You can book your absolutely free, no pressure growth gap audit call. On this call, we'll take a look at your current life and business structure, identify where your gaps are, and show you how to close those gaps so you can get better results with less effort by working smarter and focusing your time on what actually moves the needle forward. The link is in the show notes for you. Or if you're ready to go from one-off wins to repeatable revenue with structure, strategy, and sales that support your life and keep dream clients coming back and your calendar full without burning out, you can apply to work together by clicking the link in the show notes. Make sure you hit that follow button so you don't miss any new episodes. And if this episode hits home, please consider leaving a review, hitting those stars, and sending it to your biz bestie who's also ready to build a life and business on purpose. I'll see you next time.